everybody. Welcome back. David Eon and the lovely and talented and glorious Miss Lady Pop Hunter here with another adult collector discussion. And just throwing it out there. Another PSA, if you will. Another public service announcement to the collector community, whether you collect toys or action figures or comics or trading cards or whatever that is that you are into, whatever it is. Hello, Miss Kitty. Special guest appearance.
She's always around.
Miss Kitty. Well, she's the only cat that's allowed downstairs.
Yeah, she's always around.
Yeah, so she follows us down and hangs out because she knows she can. I think she gets a kick out of the idea that the other cats can't come down here. So she's like privileged. That's right. Isn't that right, baby? You're privileged. Anyways, whatever it is that you collect, you don't have to have it all. You don't need every single new toy, new comic book, new action figure that comes out. And it's a hard lesson to learn, especially as prices on that stuff continues to go up all the time.
Yeah.
It gets more and more expensive. The companies make up all kinds of excuses about it. Oh, it's because of the plastic. It's raising the prices because the plastic is getting more expensive.
Shortages on comics.
Hasbro won't even put plastic in its packaging anymore and still raised the price. Think about that, Hasbro. Yeah, plastic. There's not even plastic in the package. I mean, it's got that like cardboard twine and like cardboard insert and stuff, and you're still telling us you raise the prices because of plastic, and then you get rid of the plastic? I know that's another discussion, but you don't have to. You don't have to have every single one, and that is tough for a lot of people because many people are completists. They want to finish the line. They want to have every piece. They want to have every figure, every vehicle, if there is a vehicle, to piece it all together, to have the whole series, which these companies take advantage of, and they release and re-release figures, and they release the same figure with a different color scheme.
Yeah.
They release the same figure with Funko does this with a different sticker. You know, the convention exclusive and the shared exclusive, the stickers are different, and that drives Funko collectors nuts, and they will want both versions.
Yeah.
It's the same figure in the same box with a different sticker. You see this with comic book collectors too. Oh, I've got to have that newsstand version as opposed to just the comic store version, the direct market version versus the newsstand version, because it has a barcode instead of a little picture icon in the corner. Same book, everything else is the same, and sometimes the newsstand version isn't rare. It's the other way around, but most comic collectors don't realize that.
They don't care.
It wasn't until the late 80s, early 90s that there was less newsstand versions than there were of the direct market versions. Oh well, but do you really need to have both? I mean, if you can afford it and it really means a lot to you, I can't tell you what to collect or how to collect it, but you know, is it really worth it to knock yourself out? There's also the FOMO aspect, fear of missing out, which we did a whole video of some time ago, where we were talking about how a lot of people, because they're afraid of missing out, that they'll jump on something and then regret it later. And that's tough, and that's why when we do our weekly roundups and we do the thing, hey, did you see anything that you liked? If some of you are probably familiar with the weekly roundups, you probably started watching this channel because of it. And I ask her, and then I talk about what I liked, and then it comes out, are you going to get it? Probably not. Because even though it looks enticing, it looks good, I don't know. For that price, I got to take a step back and think about it, because you may end up disappointed.
Or like you get like what I did. I got to the point, it's like, okay, you buy these figures, and then they always look amazing on the internet, on the computer.
Yeah.
Oh, they can do all kinds of stuff. They can do flips and splits. They legs can
Posing,
go
she
way
means,
up there.
when they pose it for the photo shoots, for the advertising.
Or even the statues. It looks wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get it. And it's like, maybe it's my lighting. Maybe because I don't have smoke and orange lights and red and green lights or something. But it just doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
You know, and that gets, like, kind of, it's like, I don't pose anything. So, you know, I just want the thing to stand right there.
Just a static pose.
Right. But people that do pose, I get it. You know, you want it to do the things that it do on the picture, on the computer.
Yeah.
But you don't do that.
And can't get it done.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
that turns you off.
And then you have these people that fell into that trap, and they'll do anything to justify it.
Yeah.
And that's annoying because and I've talked about that extensively with the quality issues of a lot of toy lines where they're like, because some of these figures you're paying hundreds for, depending upon what it is and who you're buying it from. You're paying hundreds for these figures, or at least an excessive amount where it's just like, okay, I spent $150, $120, $90, $250, $400, however much you paid for it, and you pose it and his elbow joint snaps, or the paint starts chipping off. Somebody told me that about just recently, complained about they were thinking about getting the Mondo Magneto.
Yeah.
That was announced just recently, the animated series Magneto, but changed their mind because they have the Wolverine, and that the Wolverine paint's already chipping on it.
Oh, wow.
That's like $225 figure. And he was like, $225 and it's paint chipping off of it? Give me a break. And he's right. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that try to justify that, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's because you need to do this and that to the figure." No,
you
I don't need
have
to. I don't need to do a damn thing to the figure because I paid more than enough that there shouldn't be quality control issues. You heard a lot of that with the HasLab Sentinel and the knees.
Yeah.
A lot of them had a defective knees, and you had to do a fix on it. And it's like, no, I shouldn't have had to do a fix for the price that was paid for this Legends properly scaled Legends figure.
Yeah.
It was expensive.
I mean, you expect that kind of stuff from Dollar Tree. You say, okay, I'm going to go buy my little 3-year-old some toy.
Yeah.
I'll just go to Dollar Tree. They're going to tear it up anyway.
Yeah.
And you don't expect it to be quality, good. You don't expect it to last a week.
Yeah.
You know, because you paid $1, $2, $5 for this thing. But if you're an adult collector and you going out and you buying figures for $40, $50 or more, you buying statues $600-$700 or more.
Yeah.
You don't expect paint to fall off. You don't expect knees to pop out, or you know, you expect it to do what the picture says it's going to do, what the company says it should do.
Yeah.
And that's just it. If you want to buy cheap goods, you go down to Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and you get cheap stuff. You know, but you don't pay $80 for a figure, and then it's the paint chips in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you know, it makes me think of McFarlane. I pick on McFarlane a lot, but he gets the job done. I'll give him that. He gets the figures out there. They're inexpensive. You buy a $20 McFarlane Batman figure, and it's got some paint chipping on it. It's a $20 figure. That's not so bad. But when you go over the next step up, and you go and you buy a NECA figure for like $45.
Yeah, because now it's 40. Was 24.
It's up. The retail on a lot of those is around 48 now.
Yeah,
suggested retail.
But it was 24 back in 2019, 2018.
Yeah, and it keeps going up.
Yeah,
you're paying that much, and paint's chipping off, and joints are breaking. That's starting to hurt. You know, and that is a problem NECA has had from day one and never addressed. So you know, the figure comes out, it looks great. Do you really have to have it? And also, sometimes it pays to wait.
Yeah.
Because as the interest dies off, you know, okay, it came out, now there's a lack of interest, and you can find it cheaper, and then maybe at that cheap price, it'll take some of the sting off of it if it's a crappy figure. Like we were just talking about on Facebook, somebody was showing at Ollie's that Sunman figure from the Mattel, because they incorporated Sunman into the Masters of the Universe line now, has dropped into Ollie's, and there was like 50 of them on the peg. He showed pictures of it on Facebook. $5 a piece. So if it's a crappy figure for $5, I can suck that up.
Yeah.
If you really want the figure. But a lot of people, they jump the gun. They're afraid that it's not going to be available. What am I going to do? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Or they impulse buy, which we've also talked about extensively.
Yeah, because we do it. I know I do it more than David.
Yeah, everybody kind of does that from time to time. They buy something and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, you know,
why did I get that?
I don't know if this isn't what I thought it was, or you know, why did I get this? Things like that. What did I order this for?" Or they forgot. They got excited and they ordered something, and then it gets released by the company 2-3 years later, and finally arrives at your doorstep, and you're like, "I bought this? Where the hell did this come from, honey? You know, did you order this?" No.
You know I don't collect toys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So you don't have to have every single one, and it's tough to get over that that mentality that a lot of collectors have of being completist. Oh, I've got to finish the line. I've got to have every single piece, because all these toy companies have figured that out. When you're buying vintage lines and, okay, I want to collect in humanoids, there's only a handful. There's 3 deluxe figures, 2 vehicles, 4 humans, and a handful of other side characters in between. You could easily finish that off. Well, not really, because they're hard to find in the box. But when you're done, you're done. It's not going to keep cranking out. So what wave are we on for Legends? What wave are we on for Star Wars Black Series? What wave are we on for those WWE wrestling figures?
Yeah. And they keep making the same one. And I've realized that collecting Masters of the Universe, and I've said this a million times, you have the original that came out in the 80s.
Yes.
Then you had the He-Man that came out after that, which was the New Adventures. Yeah. Then you got the 200X. Then you had the Maddie Club.
Yeah.
And then you had Super 7. Now you're back to Origins. And they all made the exact same figures. And the only ones that are really different, I would say, is the New Adventures of He-Man, because they changed the look, the body style, and 200X. But by the time you got to the Maddie Club, they look just like the originals, except for the packaging was different.
Yeah.
And then Super 7 did it with almost the same packaging, except for the names were different. But it was the same figures. And now you're back at Origins, same packaging, same figures. They upgraded a little bit, but basically He-Man is He-Man. And now they got this, 5-pack coming out?
4-pack,
4-pack with all the different ones. And it just showed you,
it's He-Man again.
Yeah. So it's like, how many times do you need to do He-Man and Skeletor and all of them? And it goes on to everyone. Not the Thundercats, the Ninja Turtles.
No, Ninja Turtles gets played out.
Yeah.
G.I.
Star Wars, G.I. Joe.
There's a bunch of different versions being made all at once.
So it's like, do I need every single one? And that's what really caused me to stop collecting, not getting rid of it. I had to take a pause, and I haven't bought anything in a long time because of that. It's like, I don't need all of that. I got the stuff that's sitting in my pile of loot at Big Bad Toy Store. I haven't added anything to that in months. I'm not going to, because it's just too much out of space.
And I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Because it does get overwhelming. And then you end up with stuff that, like, again, do I really need this? Do I really want this? And like I said, these companies know this. That's why Mattel keeps making He-Man over and over again, and they improve upon it somehow or other. Like these new ones in that 4-pack that she mentioned, die-cast weapons. So
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, die-cast
Yeah,
weapons
now I
this
got
time."
to get that because it's die-cast weapons. And they probably figured, okay, wait a minute now. We just put out these He-Man. Yeah, but if you give them a die-cast weapon, and then the next time, next year,
Yeah.
they'll have the same one with die-cast leather weapons. Oh, but now he got flocked underwear. You know, it's like, godly, you know. Oh, now I got to have it because his loincloth is flocked.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah, it's going to be something weird, or he got rooted hair, you know, doll hair now, and all this weirdness. So,
Yeah, they'll find some way to get that hook back in your mouth again. And that's what they do. That's all they do. And that's, you know, for Masters, I collect the Mondos.
yeah.
But even I had to back off of that because it's like, how many versions do you need? There's the, like Skeletor, for example, that you got Skeletor, and then you've got the Mondo exclusive Skeletor. Then you had the Hot Topic exclusive Skeletor. Then you had the Motubi Skeletor, which was with the metallic paint. Then they had Keldor, which is Skeletor again,
Yeah.
only with long hair. And I did get the Keldor because it was different enough.
Yeah.
But, and I like them because it's the first time that Masters ever been done at 6 scale. But how many do you need? And then they had another one, didn't they?
I
think
don't
there was
know.
another one. And
I
it's
don't
like
know. I
you
lost track.
they're basically recast in the same mold, and the same people are killing themselves to get it.
But, and we've said it before, in all cartoons, every last one of them, no matter which one you look for, they always have characters that come in kind of regular that they never make figures for.
And still haven't made.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, let's redo Masters of the Universe, Thundercats, Ninja Turtles, whatever. Okay, let's do it. All right, let's start with the basic 5.
Again.
Yeah. And then they'll run it for you know, a couple of years, and they'll just keep doing the same thing. But it's like, well, what about this character? What about that character? They showed up 5-6 times, or this character, that character. No, we're going to stick with the same 5, same 6. Okay, well.
Although that's something I can kind of give Super 7 some credit for with their line when they were doing the Masters of the Universe, and specifically though when they were doing the Filmation versions of Masters of the Universe, they were trying to address some of that by giving you some figures that you've never seen, even though some of them were still recasts, like the Man-at-Arms in gold from that one episode where he was turned to gold by accident. All they did was paint their previous Man-at-Arms gold.
Yeah, but it was still different enough.
It was still different enough that you could sit there and say, okay, I see what they're doing here.
Yeah.
And they were trying to pull for Filmation characters that had not been done, even by Matty Club. But then, of course, they had the rug pulled out from under them because Mattel wanted to go full swing into producing figures again. But now they're all over the place too because they've got all these different lines going at once.
Yeah. And then they got, like, 3 versions of He-Man out now? They got the Origins, the Revelation, and then that other one.
Yeah.
So 3 different...
Masterverse. Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah. So they got 3 different ones going on now. And it's like, it's too much.
Yeah, it is. So, you know, just a reminder. And again, like I said, this goes for comic books, does the same thing because they got all the variant covers. Variant covers are basically keeping the comic industry alive because their story writing has not been that great for a long time. It's rare that there's a decent story, especially from the major contributors like Marvel and DC. I'm talking to you. Those variants keep it going because everyone, I got to get that variant. I got to get this variant. I got to get that variant. Do you? Are you reading the book? We know a guy, the Vampirella. He really likes Vampirella, and he was posed the question. Okay, you get all these because he's got all these modern Vampirella variant covers, tons of them. Do you read them? Do you read the Vampirella? Not really. I get the modern ones for the cover art, but I have read all of the original stories. Yeah. Because the original stories were good. The modern stories, I can't get into it.
Yeah.
And so he's just collecting it for the cover art. But the story's not there. Do you really need every variant? You know, is
But
one
I mean,
enough?
if it's a good, like with comic books, I can kind of see a little difference because, you know, the cover is so different.
You're buying the art.
Yeah. So, you know, cause I know with the modern books that I've bought, I bought a bunch of variants because the cover was nice. The cover was really nice. So I'm like, okay. And I'm just praying that this story holds up. You know, because I read a lot of the gold and silver, Bronze Age.
Sure.
And it got great, solid stories.
Yeah, and a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, a lot of dialogue.
In comparison to modern books.
And I flipped through a modern book while I think we were at the comic shop. And it was like no words in the book. It was like oh, I know. I read the modern Masters of the Universe book.
Oh, that's right. There's no dialogue in
It
there
was
at
no
all.
words in there. It was like you go through almost 2 pages and you got like one word on 2 pages of book. And I'm like, And then when it did talk, it was stupid. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So I had to stop reading it. I'm like, no. So.
And if you're collecting it for cover art, that's fine. You know, that's because some of the covers are outstanding. And some of the art is really good, and I can totally see that. So I'm not knocking you if you're like a variant collector in that respect. But do you need to have every one of them? You know,
you never know which one might be that $1 million book in 30 years.
That's why. Because some of the covers, you know, some of those variants are kind of lazy, and you're just like, you know, was it worth it? Probably not. But again, you know, it's you really have to. I think everybody should just slow down and ask themselves, especially when it comes to new stuff. If it's a vintage piece, you've probably been thinking about it for a while anyway. Yeah. So that's a different story. But if it's something that's new, so take a breath. You don't have to jump on it. If you miss it, that's okay. It'll probably turn up again, or it'll get remade. A lot of Hot Toys collectors cry about that because Hot Toys will remake a figure. They will re-release a popular figure.
But they need to. I just want them to release 2.
Yeah.
The '89 Batman and Jack Nicholson Joker.
Yeah. She really wants those.
Those 2 I want. Yeah. Because they're out there.
They're expensive. Hot Toys collectors whine about the stuff because then they're like, oh, if they recast it, it's going to bring the value down. So, well, you know, the Hot Toys don't care about your feelings.
They don't care that the value came down.
They're trying to make some money. That's all they care about. So it may yet turn up again. So it'll be all right. It will. So I don't know. What do you think? Thoughts, guys? Do you have to jump on the nearest thing? Have you learned to slow down? It's tough, actually. Yeah. It can be tough to train yourself to do that. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up. Rumor has it, according to YouTube, that helps with the algorithm. That's probably a lie, but we appreciate the thumbs up. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you knew, all that good stuff. Check out some of the other videos. If you are new, you may find something you like. We hope you do. And if that's it, then what more can we say but thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.
Now,
irresistible.
Simply irresistible.
There's no telling where the money went. I know where it went to the convention.
There's no telling where the money went.
Yeah, I'm so fine. Hey, no. Mickey. You're so fine.
What are we talking about?